Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Sal, and I'm a certified transformation coach. Here to talk to you today about the 6 emotions you experience when going to make a change. And this cycle is going to sound really familiar to a lot of you guys because it's something that we all experience at one time or another, especially when we're trying to make this big, lasting change in our life. And it starts the same for all of us: dissatisfaction. We're either dissatisfied with a certain aspect of our life, a certain bad habit that we might have, and we ignore it, we repress it, and we kind of deal with it for the time being until something happens that causes us to go to emotion number 2. We're fed up, we're done, we're pushed over the edge, and we can't deal with that situation anymore. And that brings us to phase number 3, which is determination. Now we're determined to make that change. We're determined to do something different, and we might even start taking some steps towards that change, which is going to give us a sense of hope. It's going to be adrenaline, momentum in the right direction. But that hope eventually dies down when we start realizing that we have to make sacrifices and put in some work, which leads us to number 4, anxiety. It gives us an anxiety because we don't realize maybe we have more to do than we might have expected, or maybe we don't have as much time as we thought we had, and we start to get anxiety, and that anxiety will keep building up if you let it until we get to feeling number 5, which is uncertainty. Something might trigger your old bad habits or whatever that you kind of allow yourself to do it because you're like, hey, I've done so well this far, we'll just let it slide one more time. Well, it's just one time, right? And eventually you'll start to feel defeat because one time becomes 2 times, becomes 4 times, and we fall back into our bad habits. And in our mind, it seems easier to just allow yourself to do the undesired habit than it is to put in the work and the sacrifice that it takes to change. And then we end up right back at the beginning of the cycle, dissatisfaction. Because after a while, we start to feel dissatisfied again because we were dissatisfied for a reason in the first place. And it's a vicious cycle that we all go through. And there's only 2 ways to beat that cycle. And one is what we call learning the hard way. And unfortunately, it takes a big, loss of a family member, loss of a job, loss of a marriage. And then that's the big thing that makes us finally want to make that change. But if you want to make that change before you get to that point, before you get to that suffering point of your life, all you have to do is be honest with yourself. The second way to make that change is with self-honesty and coping skills. And if you admit to yourself that you have limiting beliefs, because we all have limiting beliefs, and if you admit to yourself that you have these limiting beliefs and that those might be what's holding you back from the change, you find out what those limiting beliefs are, and you find out ways to cope with them, then you can break the cycle. Then you can make the change, and you don't have to start back at that dissatisfaction phase. I hope you find these tips useful and they help you on your journey to changing your life for the better. And if you did, please share with a friend, follow, subscribe, and visit me on my website at motivateyourselfcoach.com for more content. Thanks, guys. See you soon.